Every failed next Messi wonder kid in football explained. Kerlon. The player that went viral before viral was even a thing. Kerlon was a prospect that came through Brazil and was known for the seal dribble. He would balance the ball on his head and run past defenders. The Brazilian media compared his flair and confidence to Messi, labeling him the next Messi. Italian club Inter Milan wasted no time and quickly signed him. Yet injuries struck hard for Kerlon as serious knee problems destroyed his explosiveness. Then his magic slowly faded. Kerlon was one of the first perfect examples of what could have been and how injuries can erase potential no matter how gifted you are. Giovani dos Santos. Many know him as a MLS legend, but Dos Santos was supposed to be so much more. Through his youth years, he was widely known as Barcelona's next big thing when coming through La Masia. Quick feet, creative, a young genius. A La Masia product just like Messi. He even won the Golden Ball at the Under-17 World Cup, putting his name on the national stage. But senior football is different. Dos Santos made a move to Tottenham and quickly struggled. He would be brilliant one week, then completely invisible the next. A solid career in Spain and the MLS, but never reached the world-class hype that everyone thought he would. Dos Santos wasn't a flop, he just wasn't the next Messi, and wasn't even close. Freddy Adu. Not many people remember Adu, as he was 14 years old when he first burst onto the scene. The American media called him the next Pelé, and the world called him Messi. Adu was a beast at such a young age. Nike commercials, national TV, he was treated like a superstar before he even became one. Physically, Adu never developed into a dominant pro. He moved to Europe to play for Benfica, had multiple unsuccessful loans across multiple countries and never settled. The hype came too fast. Such a young player that was ruined by the media and wasn't allowed to grow, and sometimes that's the worst thing that can happen to a young player. Antonio Cassano. The young Italian that was raw genius from young. Had street football creativity, unpredictable skill, and natural talent that reminded people of Messi. Yet Cassano had a different problem than most. His wasn't injuries, he wasn't destroyed by the media. Cassano had a discipline problem, clashed with every manager, had weight issues and major attitude problems. He played for some of the biggest clubs in the world, Roma, Real Madrid, and Milan. Yet he never maximized his talent and never became the next Messi. Cassano proves one thing, that's talent without discipline doesn't equal greatness. Bojan Krkić. Probably the most well-known today, Bojan was one of, or if not the closet thing to, Messi at this age. He wasn't just hype, he was supposed to be guaranteed greatness. He broke scoring records at La Masia that even Messi wasn't close to. He debuted for Barcelona at just 17 years old. Was calm, technical, intelligent. Everything screamed future superstar, and the whole world knew about him. But what was the problem? Pressure. Bojan later admitted that he struggled hugely with anxiety whilst at Barcelona. Imagine being constantly compared to Messi, the best player to ever live. The pressure was too much. Every mistake feels like a bullet wound. He then moved to many big teams like Roma, Milan, Ajax, and Stoke, had good moments but never reached the limits the world thought he would. Bojan didn't fail because of talent. He failed because people's expectations of him felt unrealistic to him. Alexandre Pato. Another widely recognized name. The Brazilian wonder kid made his name at AC Milan and looked unstoppable, had explosive pace, clinical finishing, and was composed beyond his age. Fans at that time would even debate Messi, Ronaldo, or Pato. But this didn't last long for Pato, as muscle injuries occurred over and over again that made him lose rhythm, confidence, and momentum. Sometimes your body just doesn't cooperate, and what could have been with Alexandre Pato, we will sadly never know. Javier Saviola. Did you know there was a player before Messi that was supposed to be Messi? This was Saviola, an Argentine golden boy nicknamed El Conejo, who was electric and a breath of fresh air at River Plate. Barcelona seen his talent and snatched up having huge expectations. He scored goals and lots of them. Yet Saviola never controlled the game like Messi, and he never became Messi. He did have a very good career, but when you're compared to a once-in-a-generation player being very good, feels like failure. Federico Macheda. The player who scored one goal that changed everything. At just 17 years old, Macheda scored a last-minute goal for one of the biggest teams in the world, Manchester United. He quickly became an instant hero with instant hype and was labeled the next superstar. But being able to sustain that level of hype, that's different. Macheda had many loan spells with inconsistent form and rapidly lost momentum. This shows that football doesn't reward moments, it rewards consistency.